quick gratitude, I can't think of the word that I want to add, instant gratification mindset, thank you.
Brilliant.
Where if we just want the symptom to go away. My approach is a little bit different. Symptoms tell a story. Symptoms tell you what's going on with your body. We also have it that if we have a symptom, we must be sick. And if we don't have a symptom, we must be well. But what is, I mean, just as an example, do you know what the first symptom that people experience most often when they have a heart attack?
Pain in one arm?
It's death.
Oh.
More often than not, people die from a heart attack before they have any symptoms at all. Now, they may have symptoms like really briefly, but then they pretty much die. I mean, not to be a total downer about that, but were they healthy the day before? Were they healthy the day before? Probably not, right? They probably weren't. But they didn't have any symptoms. So were they healthy, but they had no symptoms? Okay, so health and symptoms not really the same thing, right? Or health, absence of symptoms, not the same thing. Now, let's say you just, let's take example, two people, they both ate the same bad chicken, whatever it was. And one of them pukes right away. The other one does not. From a symptom standpoint, the one that's vomiting, they must be sick. And the one that's not, maybe they dealt with it well. The system that's working better is the one that actually was able to get rid of the toxin first, as opposed to the one that actually is letting it churn and gurgle and doing all the other stuff in there. And then they might get sick later, maybe worse. You know, there's a reason why we have these symptoms. They tell us stories about the body. So that's another example. What I deal with a lot in my practice are things like car accidents, whiplash. Okay. This is one of the ones I'm going to spend a little bit more time on to dive into all the symptoms that occur with whiplash. When you get into a car accident and you get whiplash, let's make it really straightforward, simple. You get hit from behind or in the front, your head goes forward and comes back again. Goes through a really extreme range of motion. What's the reaction from the body? Pain, inflammation, swelling, restricted range of motion, all those kinds of things. Let's not even get into like neurological symptoms and that kind of thing. Let's just talk about the pain and all of that. So the muscles in the neck will splint. Maybe not right away, but they will splint. And that means that they get really, really tight and they hold your neck still. Okay? The medical approach to that is, oh, that must hurt. Let's give you some pain relievers. Let's give you some muscle relaxants. Okay? So now they feel better. Great. But they also recognize, you know what? After something like that, I'll bet the neck, not quite as stable as it was before. Well, let's put a collar on you. Okay, so we do recognize that. We put a collar on, and now they have a little bit more stability. Okay, take it back now, and look at the way that I would generally approach that. You get whiplash, the muscles splint. The symptoms tell you what's going on. The pain tells you how far you can move your neck before you shouldn't move it any further. When you take a pain reliever, you dull that down. Now you can move maybe a little bit further than you maybe should, and you're damaging things a little bit more. Okay, the muscle relaxants allow your neck to move more. Same thing. Now you're going to possibly, maybe not probably, be damaging your neck because you're moving more than your body is telling you that you should. When you have pain and you go, ow, okay, I shouldn't turn my head like that. Don't do that. And then the nice thing about pain, is that as you heal, it changes. The sensations in your body change, and so you have this ongoing direction about what you can and cannot do. So, first day, oh, I can't do that. Next day, oh, I got a little bit further. Oh, better not do that. But I got a little bit further than I did the day before, or the week before. Okay, so it's progressive. You continue to improve. Meanwhile, I hope you're coming in, getting adjusted, getting massaged, so we can improve the function of the body and allow things to progress naturally and normally. Anyway, so as that improves, as you get more range of motion, you're actually directing the healing of the body too, because soft tissue healing, all of the tendons and muscles and ligaments and all that stuff that got stretched, maybe torn, they rely on the movement of your body, the movement patterns, to determine how those things line up again. It starts with scar tissue. Scar tissue is only contractile tissue. You've got two types of contractile tissue in the body. You've got muscles, and those are contractile, but then they also relax. Okay, and that's an important function of muscles. Scar tissue only contracts, it's like a zip tie. It gets tight. It will never loosen up unless you tear it, and that kind of hurts. Scar tissue serves a purpose. Okay, scar tissue basically ratchets the healthy tissue back together again. So the lines of stress and the movement line up the scar tissue in the right direction, which then eventually brings all that healthy tissue back together again, and you can actually heal. The problem comes when you ignore those symptoms, you decide to stop the inflammatory process, you decide to maybe immobilize yourself with a collar, and do other things to get in the way of that process. Scar tissue will go bleh, 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 and then it's a clumpy mess, and it's in all kinds of different directions, and then when it contracts into a ball, and guess what? Now you have a chronic injury, because that scar tissue doesn't allow the healthy tissue to get back together again. Alright? Until you go in there and you tear it, or you can get a real deep tissue massage and rub all that stuff out. Awesome. Thanks. So, when you listen to the symptoms of your body, when you can understand that that's a normal, natural process, then you can use that to guide you in your own healing. And I educate people about this all the time. And people, I think, sometimes get a little annoyed because it's like, well, what should I do about this? I'm like, well, try this, but if it hurts, don't do it. And it's all a very personalized, individualized approach because everybody's different, every injury is different. The adjustment process comes into this in this way. I'm not trying to necessarily make something move that I think should move. I'm not trying to tell the body what to do. The adjustment is about allowing the body complete communication so that it can direct that healing process because it knows better than I do what needs to happen. I don't know how to grow a body from 2 cells. But whatever it is that enabled us to do, to be that and grow that, that's still there in your body. And chiropractic is about releasing that force and allowing it full expression so that true healing can actually occur. Okay? That's just one example with whiplash about how that would play into that. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to touch briefly on... No, I think that was the big thing. That took a little bit more time than I expected. Are there any questions about that in like 20 seconds?
Brian, what's a typical range of treatment? I mean, it varies for everybody, but when you get like whiplash, I mean, is it as simple as a couple of visits, or is it more realistic to have 2 or 3 months worth of treatment?
It's more realistic to have longer treatment. You're absolutely right, it does vary depending on the severity of the accident and how much injury actually occurs. But yeah, chiropractic is usually not a one quick fix. So
How do you determine the severity? What do you use technology-wise?
Wow.
Schedule one.
That would actually be a good one.
Schedule 1-to-1.
Thank you.